Stand by to receive our transmission.
Transfer complete.
Hello and welcome to the IndieBlogg for Stardate 0706.09. I'm Noel Ramos, and I've just beamed into Skip Saylor's recording facility here in Northridge, California. And in just a few minutes we're going to be talking to Lynn Carey Saylor about her new recording. But in the meantime, take a look at that monster board. Isn't that awesome? So don't get out of your seat because we're about to talk to Lynn Carey Saylor.
It's time for cool stuff.
Hello everybody, we're here with Lynn Carey Saylor, and we're in the Skip Saylor recording facility, which is located in Northridge, California, and this is quite a place.
Yes, it is.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about the recording facility before we ask you some questions about you and your music.
Well, this is really Skip Saylor's brainchild, and Skip Saylor is the producer of my record. He's also my husband, and he has been a studio owner for about 26 years. He used to have a recording facility over on Larchmont Boulevard in Los Angeles in the Hollywood area, and we closed that up last year and just opened this one up in the last couple of months, and now we're out in beautiful Northridge on ranch property and have a lot more room, but all the same great equipment that he's always had for years and years, and did all the hit records on.
This monstrous board behind us.
Yeah, it's 100 inputs all the way across. So you can, you can record anything you want over here, that's for sure. So it's very.
And then in the back we have trailers for your entertainment pleasure. What's going on back there?
The concept of that is that we house bands there. So if you want to come here and record a record from start to finish and do all the tracking and all the mixing, and the bands from out of town, then there's 3 different trailers for them to stay in, and plenty of room for, a 4-piece, 5-piece band.
And up front you've got the game room with the pool table.
Yeah, well, that's mandatory. You got to keep the troops entertained when you're recording, because you go a little stir crazy if you're in the studio all the time and you don't have anything to divert your attention. And when people start fighting, they want to get out and clear their head, and so we got pool table. So they can have a hot tub, so then we'll really relax them.
Can they fight on the pool table if they want?
Oh, they can do anything they want. If they're paying for studio time, they can pretty much do what they want to do. So.
Okay, well, we're going to get into some questions with Lynn about her music and her new album called You Like It Clean. So stay tuned. We'll be right back with more of Lynn Carey Saylor.
The IndieBlogg is proudly sponsored by Sennheiser.
Skip Saylor Recording is indeed an amazing facility, but perhaps not as amazing as the man himself, who has worked with such famous names as the ones you see scrolling on the screen right now. And as you can see, all of the gold and platinum records he has displayed in his hallway from artists such as K.D. Lang, Def Leppard, Snoop Dogg, the list goes on and on. So, quite an honor to be here at the Skip Saylor Recording Facility in Northridge, California, speaking with Lynn Carey Saylor about her new album, You Like It Clean, recorded right here. And now let's get back to our conversation with Lynn Carey Saylor. Okay, first of all, Lynn, I want to thank you for talking to us here on the IndieBlogg. And the first question I want you to answer for us is, how do you describe your music? Give us a little bit of a description of it, especially the stuff that you recorded on this album called You Like It Clean.
Definitely pop rock, melodic pop rock with big chorus hooks. I like big, kind of lush chorus hooks with lots of drama in them. And Skip likes to describe my music as Karen Carpenter meets Green Day, which is sort of an interesting way of putting it. And I know what he means by that. Kind of have the vocal tonality of someone like Karen Carpenter, but I'm not a pop artist in the way that she is. I'm more of a rock artist, and it's definitely got modern production, almost something like Green Day would do. But it's a good way to describe it.
You might see me cry. I'm not ashamed to say I'm crushed inside. I've soaked in your words, and they hurt.
That's the title track off You Like It Clean by Lynn Carey Saylor. So Lynn, why don't you tell us what your favorite song to work on was in this particular project?
Probably the only song on the record that I didn't write, which is a cover of We Belong, made famous by Pat Benatar in 1984. And it was the most amount of fun to work on because, for one thing, we had Queen legendary guitar player Brian May in to play on the track. And we also brought in the songwriters of the song, two gentlemen named Eric Lowen and Dan Navarro. So we had everybody in the room, and we all sang on it and participated in it. And that would be. We also filmed a video for that. It's the only song we filmed a video for so far too. So it was just a great day in the studio with everybody. Had a lot of fun doing that.
Many times I've tried to tell you, many times I've cried alone. Always I'm surprised how well you cut my feelings to the bone. Don't wanna leave you really, I've invested too much time to give you up that easy, to the doubt to complicate your mind. We belong to the light, we belong to the thunder. We belong to the sound of the words we've both fallen under. Whatever we deny or embrace, for worse or for better, we belong, we belong, we belong, we belong together. Maybe it's a sign of weakness when I don't know what to say. Maybe I just wouldn't know what to do with my strength anyway. Have we become a habit? Do we distort the facts? Now there's no looking forward, now there's no turning back. When you say we belong to the light, we belong to the thunder. We belong to the sound of the words we both fallen under. Whatever we deny or embrace, for worse or for better, we belong, we belong, we belong, we belong together. Close your eyes and try to sleep now. Close your eyes and try to dream. Clear your mind and do your best to try and wash the palate clean. We can't begin to know it, how much we really care. I hear your voice inside me, I see your face everywhere. So you say we belong to the light, we belong to the thunder. We belong to the sound of the words we both fallen under. Whatever
Okay, so that was a little clip from Lynn Carey Saylor's video, and I wanted to ask her a few questions about the production of the video and the reasons behind the video. So if you can comment on that a little bit for us, it would be appreciated.
Well, we wanted to document the recording. I mean, first of all, it was great having everybody in the studio together. It will probably never happen again when we have myself, the songwriters of the song, Eric Lowen and Dan Navarro, Brian May. Also, Brian May brought down his fabulous keyboard player and bass player from the Queen band, which is great. Spike Edney's keyboard player, Danny Miranda is the bass player.
Wow.
And they all came down in the middle of their tour, no less. So they had played Anaheim Stadium the night before, came in on a Monday, and they came in on a Tuesday, spent all day up till about midnight recording for me, and then flew on a plane up to San Jose and played the next night there. So they could have used a day off, that's for sure. So I'm enormously appreciative that they came down and recorded with me and did it mostly for Eric Lowen. We recorded the song for Eric Lowen. Eric Lowen unfortunately has ALS, or some people know it by the name Lou Gehrig's disease. The famous baseball player Lou Gehrig had it and died of it, and it was named after him. And so that was why we recorded it. My husband and I have known Eric Lowen for many, many years, and wanted to pay tribute to him, put him on the song, and it's a great song too. I mean, I didn't just do it for that. If it wasn't a great song and it wasn't a song that I always loved, I wouldn't have cut it. But my record was slated to be completely self-written by me, but I decided that I wanted to pay tribute to him and cut that song. So.
Now, in addition to paying tribute to him and his condition, are you using the song to help raise awareness for ALS?
Absolutely, because every time somebody hears a song and sees Eric, I mean, in the video, Eric is pictured in his red scooter. It's obvious he can't walk, and it gives me an opportunity to talk about the disease and what it does. And on the page on my website where the video is, I also have a place where you can donate to Eric's trust fund for his kids and himself, and so a lot of my fans, thank you very much to my fans, have donated to this trust fund, and I've got great fans, and they have really rallied and supported me and Eric. So.
That's awesome. That's great.
It's great, yeah, it really is.
Okay.
Really is.
Well, we'll be right back with more of Lynn Carey Saylor right after this commercial announcement from our sponsor, the Independent Music Conference. So don't go away.
Independent musicians! Hey, it's Melissa here to let you know the Independent Music Conference is coming back to Philly for another year of great music, workshops, and networking. Get involved now by visiting their website. Get more info about the Independent Music Conference in the latest issue of the Intermix webzine. I want to see you at the Independent Music Conference, brought to you by IndieGate.com, the online independent music store. So get involved and let your music be heard through Philadelphia's Independent Music Conference. The IMC wants your submissions today.
Okay, we're back with more of Lynn Carey Saylor at the Skip Saylor recording facility in Northridge, California. And I just want to say again, Lynn, that is an incredible video of an incredible song. And it's really great to see you performing with those legendary artists and recording such a great version of that tune for a very good cause to help raise awareness for ALS, or Lou Gehrig's disease. There's another song on your album that you also dedicated to a very important cause. This tune, which is called I Wasn't a Friend, is dedicated to all the families who have lost loved ones in drunk driving accidents. It's a heavy song for a heavy topic, so I was wondering if you would like to comment on that a little bit.
Yeah, this song's called I Wasn't a Friend, and the idea behind the song is I have a friend who I know is too drunk to drive, and instead of taking the keys out of their hand and insisting that they don't drive their car, I just let them drive home, knowing full well they're too drunk to drive. And in the song, it's implied that the friend gets killed, and the song is about my intense grief over the friend getting killed, and how could I let this happen? And so therefore, that's the title. I wasn't a friend. If I'd been a friend, I would have taken those keys out of their hands and stopped them, and then they'd still be alive. So that's what the song's about.
And in addition to the song itself, you've also set up a MySpace page to help raise awareness about this important issue, as we saw with the URL I put on the screen a little bit ago. Would you like to comment more on that?
Definitely a big-time goal for this song is to raise awareness so that people will never let their friends drive drunk. That's the goal here. That's the reason why I wrote it. Sometimes people ask me if the song's autobiographical, and the answer to that is no, thank God. This song is definitely not autobiographical. I've never had anybody close to me killed in a drunk driving accident. However, when I was 16 years old, one time I was headed to a concert kind of on the outskirts of town, which is Las Vegas, where I grew up. And it was a 2-lane highway out to this concert, and I was behind a car, and all of a sudden, a car from the oncoming lane went into our lane and smashed head-on into the car that was in front of me. This car happened to have 4 teenagers in it, all about the same age that I was, about 16, 17 years old, and it killed all 4 of them instantly, and I saw this happen right in front of me. And it was just absolutely one of the most horrific, well, probably the most horrific thing I've ever seen and witnessed. To see, it turned the car completely upside down. It was a Volkswagen, so it was upside down, and these 4 kids were dead inside the car. Bloody, battered bodies, and I had nightmares for years and years afterwards, and I think that's where the inspiration for the song came from and why I wrote it.
Well, I think it's great, Lynn, that you're able to take negative events and turn them into a positive thing, not only through the songwriting itself, but also through your actions and the things that you do with these songs, such as helping to raise awareness and helping to raise funds. Clearly, I'm not the only one who thinks like this, because you've gotten some recognition from some of the larger manufacturing companies who are now endorsing you, correct?
Yeah, the endorsement stuff has been really exciting for me. SBG Guitars came to me, and they really liked my songs and image and voice, and asked me if I wanted to have an endorsement deal with the company, and I checked out their guitars, and they're great guitars, and it's an honor for me to be endorsed by a company like that. And that was the first endorsement that I got, and shortly thereafter, Dean Markley, the famous string manufacturer, also came to me and asked me if I wanted an endorsement deal with them. And Dean Markley strings were the first strings I ever used, actually, when I started playing guitar about 14, 15 years old. And so it was just a natural thing to say yes to them. Also, it's great to have the backing of companies, significant companies like that, who believe in your music and what you're trying to do with it, and want to endorse you. So.
Don't look at me that way, with a superficial grin, like you haven't heard a word I've said.
So I'm listening to this off of your MySpace page, and I'm wondering, now that you've released your album, You Like It Clean, are you using the internet to help market it? What are the methods you're using to try to sell the disc?
Absolutely. The internet has been absolutely critical to this record, and I have a MySpace page that, I don't know, has something like 22,000 people on it, and I've sold a lot of CDs just from people discovering me on MySpace, and then there's all the various online retailers like IndieBlogg, which have been fabulous, and thank you very much for featuring me there on the front page. And that kind of exposure is priceless, to be featured in that way, and people can discover you and buy the record, and it's just a very easy process. And the other thing is people can write to me, and I'll write to them back. It's a very interactive process with my fans. I even have a special MySpace page for just the people who bought my CD through me directly, or through Indicator, places where I know and that they actually bought the CD, and I give them special attention and free downloads and things like that. So, nice to
Cut that
It's
again.
my husband, Skip Saylor.
Here's some pizza.
Thank you.
Might want to get it out of the shop.
Yeah, we'll eat it and get it out that way.
So, that's great. I can have, it's even a private page on MySpace. So the only people that can see what I'm writing there in my blogs or talking about there and special free things that only people I see. So I like that. That's one way the internet is really great. It's connecting me to people all over the world.
Visit indiegate.com/Lynn Carey Saylor for CDs, digital singles, and more. indiegate.com/Lynn Carey Saylor.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thanks again for tuning in to the Indie Blog. It's been a great pleasure talking to Lynn Carey Saylor.
Thank you very much for having me.
Oh, my pleasure. And thanks so much for the tour of this awesome facility, the Skip Saylor recording facility, and the great, huge board and the wonderful live sound room.
Yeah, absolutely.
And what goes on in those isolation booths? That's what I want to know.
Well, you have to come down to find out. Gotcha. Got to make an in-person appearance, and we'll show you.
It's probably worth
We'll
the trip.
try it.
And then you got the trailer. You got the trailers out back, the party zone. You got the amusement park up front there. You got ping pong.
That's right.
Pool
table. Soon to have a hot tub.
roller coaster,
Soon to have that too.
water slide.
We got it all, folks. Just come on down.
Six Flags
we'll
over
take
Skip
good care. We'll take good care of you.
All right, so once again, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for tuning in to the Indie Blog. Make sure you catch us next time. We'll be talking to more really cool industry people and musicians.